Was it a Fonda? Was it Jane Fonda?
Oh no! Strike one. Farrah Fawcett.
That's the other one I should have guessed. Dang it. Hi, I'm Jake from Autoweek, and we are in the car with stand-up comedian and probably the most famous TV cab driver in the world besides Judd Hirsch, Ben Bailey. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good.
You think Judd Hirsch still has me beat?
Yeah, I'm here in my car, 1989 Mercedes 560 SEL, in my garage. Ben, where are you and what are you in?
I am in my garage in the original cash cab.
And what kind of car is that again?
It is a 2007 Toyota Sienna.
You've been keeping yourself busy here in quarantine with your working from home live comedy show on Facebook and Instagram. That's Wednesday and Sunday night at 8 p.m. How's that going?
It's going great. It's also on Twitter and YouTube. We do all four. Live stream at the same time. It's going great. It's been a lot of fun. It's kind of kept myself and my girlfriend, I've made her into a producer and co-host. I've got her doing all kinds of stuff, and it's turned into quite a little production. And it's kind of kept us sane. We have a little bit of a routine. Wednesday and Sunday we got to do the show, and it just helps to have something like that that's consistent to work on and be able to do. So.
It's got to keep you got to kind of stay sharp, right? I mean, you're trying to, go back out at some point. I'm assuming, do you have any dates lined up like in the near or late future, or we're still kind of in a holding pattern?
I had just started a tour, a new Ben Bailey Live in Concert 2020 tour is now largely taking place in 2021. The next date I have on the books is November 7th here in my hometown in Morristown, New Jersey.
Nice. Seem to get a lot of traction on the show. I see like a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of witty wisecracks in the comment section. I watched a couple this week.
Cool.
And that's you're doing that for Feeding America and No Kid Hungry charity organizations, correct?
Yes. When we started, a lot of people were like, "What can we do? How do we pay you?" And we picked out these two charities that we thought were really good and could help people kind of real time, with everything that's going on. These people that depend on their school or workplace for some of their regular nutrition meals. And then they just didn't have that. So we picked those two. We put them up there in the corner and we plug them, and we've actually raised a lot of money, helped a lot of people, which is whenever I can do something that's good for me that also helps other people, it's kind of a win-win, so.
Yeah, totally. And so your co-host is Emma, and that's also your girlfriend, you said?
Yeah. We've been stuck in the house together for a very long time.
Yes. Same here in Michigan.
It's fun, man. Honestly, I'm loving it. I mean, doing stand-up for no audience it takes some getting used to for sure. And we have like a laugh track. She's hitting buttons for laughs. And it makes all the difference. And people are like, "You don't need it." I'm like, "Yes, I do." It's maybe you don't, but I need it.
I saw a sign on the highway. I was going to play golf, and I saw a sign on the highway, and I remembered I had a bit about it. Deer crossing next 2 miles. I'm like, well, that's great for us, but how do they know? Do they have a meeting about it? Like, listen, guys, there's going to be. I've just met with the humans. And they're going to mark areas for us to cross.
Yeah, it's funny at a club when you hear everyone else laugh. I think there's just sort of it flips a switch in you that says it's okay to laugh.
Yes.
And so exactly. Without that, you could be sitting at home and self-conscious about what you're laughing about, or at least thinking about it instead of just reacting and laughing. So it's been good.
That's totally it. Like I'm watching Colbert and I'm like, yeah, that's funny. And I just think in my head, that was funny. Yep. Next joke.
Right. Yeah.
Funny. Yep. Like it just doesn't have the same effect. But Cash Cab back on Bravo, 10:30 p.m. ESPN Wednesdays. How did it feel getting back into the saddle?
It was great, man. I mean, when Discovery Channel didn't pick us up years ago, every year it was like, we're going to come back somewhere. And it got to the point where it was after 3 years, it was like, no, we're not. And then we did. We kind of found a new home, and they've been awesome to work with. given us some freedom and said, basically, don't change anything. It works. Don't change anything unless you want to. So we basically are doing the same thing, but it's just a little bit more fun. It's just a little more, it's a little more about getting to meet the people that get in.
That's cool.
And just having fun with it. Whereas before it was just a little bit more like hardcore trivia driven.
Mm-hmm.
The previous network, which I've already mentioned twice, Bravo's gonna be like, don't mention them. They wanted it to be educational because that was fit their agenda, at least back then. It fit their format more.
Right. Give us some good stories. Anything crazy? Any freak outs? Anything really good from the old Cash Cab days?
Oh God, yeah. There's tons of stuff. There's one day I picked up a guy, this enormous man, 6'8", probably 350 to 400 pounds, dressed as a rabbit. He's wearing a rabbit costume and high heels.
Oh boy.
He's hailing me and I'm like, oh my God, I got to pick this guy up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So he gets in, he folds himself in, his ears are like against the ceiling.
Right.
And he goes, hey babe. And I'm like, I go, listen, rabbit. Nobody calls me babe in my taxi or something like that. And he tells me where he wants to go. And we're like arguing right out of the gate, me and this guy in this giant rabbit suit. And eventually he tells me where he wants to go. And I hit the lights and the music and all. And he doesn't want anything to do with it. He is dressed as a giant rabbit,
My family cannot know I'm here tonight.
Totally. Yes. Going to a club like that is one thing. Being on a national TV show is another thing. So that was a pretty funny one.
So I'm thinking in a few, maybe 5, maybe 50 years, we're going to have autonomous cars. I'm not sure. It could be any time in between 5 and 50 years. Will we still need a Cash Cab host, or will it be like Elon Musk's disembodied voice just coming from the cab?
I don't know if you've heard Musk speak in interviews and the things, but I don't think he's going to be hosting a game show.
He is. He definitely doesn't care. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. No slight to you intended, Mr. Musk. I'm a fan. There's one of his vehicles right across from me.
Oh, nice. That's going to bring me to my next question. What are you driving now, and what was your first car?
My first car was a 1977 Caprice Classic.
Sweet.
4-door, mint green.
Oh, sweet. Double sweet.
We had 2 of them. My father worked for GM.
Yeah.
And we got it. And so did his father. He only did for a while, but his dad did for a very long time, and we could still get a discount. We always had GM cars, and so we had 2 identical Caprice Classics. Not identical. One was light blue and one was light green.
I was gonna say 2 mint green. That would be crazy.
It was a little bit weird anyway. It never seemed weird to me because it was just us. But my friend later, he's like, I remember when you guys moved to town, and we were like, they have two of the exact same car but slightly different colors. I was like, that is a little weird. I never really thought about it.
They were doing some cool kind of weird colors back then. And I'm trying to think. So you said 78, you said?
77.
77. So really boxy then. Super boxy at that point.
Super boxy, like old school cabs and police cars and stuff were generally Caprices, and Impalas had the same body at that time.
Yeah. So were you driving that when you were like 16 or 17 or 18?
17 is when you had to be 17 before that's when you got your license back then in Jersey. I think it's still the same. I'm not sure. Maybe you get a permit earlier, but I had the car before I had my license because they got a new car, my parents, and they said, you guys can have these. These will be your cars. So I couldn't drive it. It was just in the driveway long before I could drive it. So I washed it all the time. I was so proud of it. I was so psyched. I put rims. Yeah. I put rims on it. It's this boxy family car, but I put these mag wheels on it, and it was pretty cool.
That's super cool. Plus, you can roll around with like 8 friends in those things.
You could put everybody in there. You could live in that. You could sleep on. I'm quite tall, and I could lay across that seat. I'm taller now than I was then.
It's got to be. I wonder if it's because I have an old Pontiac that's 19 feet 9 inches, but I bet the Caprice is close to that. It's got to be.
Yeah. I think 18 so.
Or 20 feet or something like that. Probably a V8. I'm guessing a V8, right?
Yep, and a V8.
Nice.
It was a great car.
Rear-wheel drive, and were you in New Jersey at this point?
Yeah.
So like New Jersey winters must have been fun or not fun?
They were both. I remember
Yeah.
I could do reverse donuts in that thing.
Sweet.
That was one of our favorite things. We'd load everybody in and go to the parking lot when there was a lot of snow and just.
So much fun. My dad had a
Oh, it was
Thunderbird.
fun.
Do you have some questions for me? Is that the plan?
I thought I might. I am sitting in the old cash cab, even though the lights, I couldn't get the lights to work.
That's okay.
Which is a bummer. I even put a new battery in the cab trying to get them to work. All right, here we go. I've got some questions for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, a little nervous.
Okay. Don't worry, I can't kick you out of your car.
True. I'll good go.
All right. True or false? Most racing tires designed for rain are treadless.
That is false.
Yes, that is false. Slicks don't perform well in the rain.
Yes. Good. Whew.
Now you got the first one. You can relax a little bit.
All right.
Okay, here we go. True or false? Ford's efforts to win a Le Mans 24-hour race in the 1960s failed.
That is false. They won 3 or 4 times in a row.
Right, false. Ford dominated with the GT40s from 1966 to 1969.
Yeah,
that's kind of awesome. That's what that Ford versus Ferrari movie is about. No?
Yes. You should.
Haven't seen it yet, but
yeah. So it's great. I mean, yeah, Damon and Christian Bale, just great, and they're always great. So it's great. Yeah, you should watch.
Yeah, those guys are a pretty solid bet. Those two.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
All right, here we go. You're 2 for 2. What 70s actress appeared with a live cougar in a TV commercial for the Mercury Cougar?
Oh God, I thought I knew this.
70s. This is before you were. What are you born in? 79 or 80?
80. Yeah. Was it a Fonda? Was it Jane Fonda?
Oh no! Strike one. Farrah Fawcett.
That's the other one I should have guessed. Dang it. Yeah. Should have known.
All right. You were quite young back then. All right, here we go. You weren't born yet. What was the pace car for the 1983 Daytona 500?
Okay, 1983. It's got to be something that was new around that time. I'm gonna guess Ford Mustang.
Oh no! Strike 2. It was a 1983 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
I own a Pontiac. I should have known that.
That's Smokey and the Bandit kind of looking thing, I think.
Yes. Damn it. Yes, I should have known that.
With the big bird on the hood.
Yeah, the Thunder Chicken. Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is the last one I've got here for you. What is the significance of the number 365 in the model name of the Ferrari 365 BB?
Okay. I think Ferrari usually does it by displacement. So is it a 3.65 liter engine, V8, V10?
It is the displacement of one cylinder.
Of one cylinder?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Wow.
But I think that's good. I think you've got displacement. I think that's a correct answer, buddy. So
yeah.
You can stay in your car.
Thank God.
So, by the way, just so you know, those questions were from the officially licensed Autoweek trivia game. From back in 1985.
Dude, we played that game like on our podcast or something, and it is super hard. It is way out of our wheelhouse for sure. Although I'm surprised I got 2.5 out of 3. That's not bad, but
yeah, no, that was pretty good. I think those last couple were supposed to be impossible.
Yeah, that was pretty hard.
You had a good reaction. You're like, okay, but
okay,
you did well. You did well. I don't think I would have gotten any of those.
All right, well, Ben, thank you so much. It's been great talking to you on In the Car With. And like I said, we'll be watching Wednesdays, 10:30 on Bravo, and your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube pages, and therealbenbailey.com. Tweet them, check it out. You'll love all the stuff. Thanks again, Ben.
Thank you, man. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Appreciate it.